And again, like the question that we posited earlier, right? This idea of like how can 6 words be like so emotional? Like, and that's it right there, right? And that's a full story where you're asking yourselves all these kinds of questions and you're thinking all these possible things, right? Again, the idea is these 6 words don't necessarily mean anything in a vacuum. They mean something to us because of our experiences, right? So I just wanted to bring that up before we move on. Now the cards that I gave you have, and feel free to look at them while I'm explaining them. Each of these cards has sort of this different mathematical formula or theorem or law, whatever word you want to use. These are called Boolean laws. They were devised by George Boole back in like the 1840s and 50s. And essentially what they are is just laws to figure out what's true and what's not true. And so what I would like you guys to do, and this is sort of our main activity for today, is for each one of these laws, try to come up with examples that are mathematical in nature, and also try to come up with examples that are literary in nature. And if you want, we can do one together as an example. Would you like to?
Yeah.
Okay. So would someone read the law of detachment? That's the first one. I think it's orange.
It's P to Q, P, 3 dots and a triangle, Q. If P then Q, P happened, therefore Q.
Yeah. So on the back, you said I give it to you in symbols, and then I also give it to you in like more normal writing, right? And so they mean the same thing, right? So would you just read the writing part again, please?
If P then Q, P happened, therefore Q.
Okay. So when I was coming up with examples, I was trying to come up with like a literary example for this one, and so what came to mind was something like this. Here's my example. If an author at the beginning of a story mentions a gun, then before the end of the story, that gun's going to go off. And if there is a gun, then that means it's going to go off at some point. Right? So if P, then Q. Right? If there's a gun, it's going to go off. There's a gun, P, so Q, it's going to go off. Does that help illustrate what we're looking for here? Kind of.
I think a different example. I mean, because, you know, it might not shoot the gun.
That's true. Well, and we're not necessarily looking to see, like, 100%, there's no way this is ever not true. We just want to come up with potential examples. So, with your groups, oh yeah, please.
Do you know why is it called the law of detachment?
I was actually, if we had extra time, we were going to investigate that too. I don't know if we'll have the time, but we can talk about it maybe towards the end. Like, yeah. With your groups, just try to come up with some examples. Just play around with it. This isn't like a test. I'm not going to give you F's or whatever. So just play around with these. Play around with these.
Mine's like that. So for the law of detachment, if P then Q happens, then therefore Q.
But if not Q, then not both. One of them had symbol.
Oh, I didn't, so I'm going to get it.
Well, we're going to take this one.
Wow.
So fire.
They don't do things really fast. I can grab
No fire, it's water.
if we're in
All right, I got one.
Little squiggly thing. If you tell them not to do it, then they didn't do it.
Right, yeah.
No, wait, I have
So that's what
Or
happens.
it was a toy gun.
By just
Yeah, that means hate it, right?
okay, if P, then Q.
Yeah, so this is
Q didn't happen. There is P didn't happen.
What was that?
He didn't have it yet.
You heard that before? Yeah, I heard it by myself.
What was mine?
So if I was a mistake, it's a
I have a whole book. I will bring the book in.
So we just come up with like the literary one. We don't come up with a mathematical one.
Do the math one too. Yeah, see if you can come up with a math example and literary.
Either baby or
X
trash.
plus Y
Mine's either baby or
then X
these
plus
real
Y
things?
is 3 plus
George Poole.
Oh yeah, there's no couple there.
So I like major
I've never talked about this before in my entire life. Remember, this is supposed to be like math and English.
Which one did I not do?
Oh yeah, this is the math.
So where did you, like, what class did you learn this?
Actually, I was going to mention this. One of my students in my classes used Boolean logic as a project this semester. So actually, this came from one of my students.
Huh.
Can you give an example of the math?
So where do you teach this?
Baker College.
No. He said one.
I know.
You didn't have to.
Come on, you have an example from that. For which one?
So glad.
No, I didn't. And there's a couple and a baby.
Oh, yeah.
So sad.
That's what I'm like. Therefore, that's good math.
What was your math?
You're sad, you're
X
baby.
plus 1, then you're like, then 7 minus 3. Like,
That sounds like your community service hours, Alana.
So like, this one, so this one's just saying like, if this thing happens, then this thing happens. And as long as P happens, therefore Q happens. Alright, so you just have to figure out, this is like cause and effect. So try to come up with like a mathematical cause and effect.
Okay.
Right, so like a fraction, if you lower the denominator, then it changes the fraction in whatever way it changes.
I got it.
Well,
You know what I mean? You guys should know mathematics.
Because there's a David.
how about two of us to do math, two of us to do English? You got it for math. You guys are jerks.
That happened yesterday.
So who was the last one to talk to you? Which one of you? It was you, Angel. David's in the car. Alright, hands off. You're already in, honey. Alright, pick a number between 1 and 10, and just whatever one of us is closer to it, that's the die. And write it down so we know your answer. And fold the paper.
So yesterday, and apparently we have to do alarm for the fire and all that fun alarms. Right, yeah. This was, that was 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yesterday was the alarm.
Yeah, I picked 2.
Alright, I got a better one.
On the concrete.
That's a logical.
I was gonna get that.
Was it? 7. Alright, cool. You said I got literature, you guys got math.
Shut up. Why you gotta be
No!
Why can't you just do one of them? Why you gotta be
I mean, what is so the 5 right out of the big room.
Mathematical.
And the film girl said they're just testing the new alarm. Okay. And we forgot to do that to Damon. Not to have him do it, so it's all Damon. Damon just kind of crushes on that.
Okay, anyway. You're great, right?
We were staying in the middle. Yeah. So we were fine. There's a person. We would have just stood there and watched it.
I was like, really?
You know, what are we gonna do? Go and we have to go in the building to get the fire extinguisher. And our phone. Actually, we probably all would have been like, oh, it's on fire. We all would have probably ran in and grabbed all our stuff.
Like, it has to be an actual math, P and Q, P half, no.
Just make sure you keep track of what happened with that.
Quite honey.
And also like flip chop. Future questions.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
We have to write that.
This is what
I get a math.
Fabulous, just like it.
I didn't know it took that.
I need both. Like die.
Driving more causes more stuff.
No way.
We're not doing math. We're not doing math. Samuel L. Jackson might run from there.
It is a group effort. We have to work together.
For further help while you guys are working, I did come up with a couple more examples. So here's a math example for disjunctive syllogism, and here is a literary example for law of contraposition.
Sure.
Just in case you guys are still trying to work these out.
What's the second definition?
So this is, if i's are mentioned often in the
The
story,
denominator is lower,
i's are
then the
simple.
fraction is going to be. I'm not doing math. That's for you guys to do.
Don't have
They got first. Jessica.
Oh, we're going backwards now?
Because somebody else
If there's not like
they like and then Trump thought it was Cruz and release that and then
Like, okay, you're recorded. They're gonna like listen to this.
if there's no number in there, no fraction.
Oh.
If you're not doing math, then we don't use numbers.
I don't have a grade.
I've been out of math for a week. I'm done.
We
I don't have grades.
then we don't need
Well, this should be.
well, because in most
Fine, so.
even if it's like in Siena,
Wait, so.
I multiply and by
Wait, if I'm sad,
in the last
Maybe you probably will.
I'm happy I have.
not multiply.
No. We're saying that
in Arizona, it's supposed to take 5 hours.
so I'm sad. I'm sad.
If it didn't happen, then it didn't happen.
What are like the reverse ones? Like the negative and a minus. Like think of that. Like when you have a negative and a minus. What does it do? Reverse something?
If you multiply a number by a negative, then the number.
It's driving crazy if you know rust of it. It's not me.
That's where the real.
No, I gotta pull it.
What is it? 3 dots.
We know if there is no sleep, there's no rest, then there's not.
It's like a domino.
Jesse is
It's all about your money.
Can I go tell her that?
Somebody.
I do believe in we're too smart.
She said shut up. So
How you guys doing back here? I feel like you gotta just come up with some examples. Now, be an example of that. But now think like, can you apply it, not just like a true statement, can you actually apply it to like something about literature? So thinking about like characters, thinking about symbols, thinking about just like truths about those things. Does that make sense?
You know, you like classically condition them to like know that it's used.
I feel like you got some good examples of that.
Yeah, Royce. Our original ones were pretty funny.
Did you guys come up with ones that are literary in nature? Because that's the real tough one. And that's the thing I would like to see you guys be able
Oh,
to do.
it's literally, alright. So watch
So like my example over there, I think is pretty good.
he had to. We're not gonna use it. He's
I read some webcasts last time.
Okay,
Talking about
well, that's on
I was gonna say, have you ever heard of one?
It's easy with this.
You can even try to simplify to talk more about just like conflict or villain.
Well, it's a movie.
Like thinking about it just from like if a villain appears,
It's about a
the
girl
villain needs to be
who falls
defeated.
in love with the
Something like that.
Two things that you one, there's like with shit. For Lorax is a little taller, that's what you get. So he has to rip for P.
She ends up
Trouble.
and that's what I was gonna say.
Since the trouble with trees are still there.
There's a boy.
Hard. The math is difficult.
There's a
We're
boy.
really kind of working through it. The literature was just more easy. And the math ones are just kind of figuring it out as we go. What are you looking at, Mr. Reed?
I got one. Let me
We're all stupid and we all need to go back to
have like these lyrics, right? And we're applying those letters.
There's marks, there's a mark story. Therefore,
And the
if there's a cross.
So this turn that into I know that's very Lorax is terrible.
Plus, I love that.
Oh my god.
If I was giving you points, I'd give you both.
in the beginning of the book talks about a dying
Although,
person.
wait,
And most
so-
of the is gonna die in the story.
Wait.
So like that was our like for this one. So it's P then Q. It's Q that just
If you think about it,
in the class changes an event in the past, then something in the future.
Yeah, it's
Like if they stop their parents from meeting.
I never talked about
Kind of thing.
thank you.
Like that's what we're doing.
Like the math one for the first one, it was like if you
Either
have
way, he was blind.
if you lower the denominator, then the fraction increases. Okay, that's like
There's a war of the brothers.
and now it's British?
so if you have like times a positive, it's just negative. But if there was no negative, then the times
There's a brother before. Sister died. Therefore, if there's a war,
So is there
Antigone.
If one, then two.
So it's like a sequence of
Wait a minute.
Mine's blurred.
yeah. So like if you have P
Oh, wait.
so like our literature example is well, the Bobby
Right.
then Bobby loses his job, then
and then Hannah?
so yeah.
Wait, hold on, I got one.
Sorry about it. You may go to work, you lost your job, and
I got one, dude.
That sounds like a lot.
yeah. But yeah, so we're just kind of trying to figure out the math one.
She's doing more. She's doing.
Yes.
She's doing more.
Right. Since he's
And then for this one, it's either P or Q. You didn't have that there for P. Because I don't know what's going on. Like one thing,
After sad.
Sarah's the one doing that. She's supposed to be literature, and she sure doesn't.
After Romeo and Juliet, then one died. Or, no, one thinks one's dead. Kills himself. And the other one wakes up and kills herself.
But I mean, I am.
Therefore,
Don't touch me.
it's not struggling.
You have rabies. Tetanus.
sorry, I just have to
I just can't. You wanna know what like I think what hilarious is like if everyone's girlfriend that disappeared. They did like
yeah, no, that's not very true.
Oh, God, I get it.
Is class one at 10-2?
He never died.
What?
Right? 55.
Which question?
55.
Yeah. All right.
That's the only one I got.
I think I put fun.
I can do that, or I was gonna put doesn't matter.
But yeah, so the only thing is like math or
I looked at the rest of the other these are things Tiffany would say.
But wait,
There's literally 3 blondes of 6 people. That's not fair.
I knew my friend that
Sarah might as well stay Sarah. I'm recognizing
On the
If 3 blondes are sitting at a table.
Oh my god! Oh, they will not get the answers for the problem. It's me then.
I hope you got that on tape.
Yep.
Can I make a commentary after?
Just for a little while still.
Oh, wait. If you're not
But
a Lorax,
my
then
plan, the one part of my plan.
did you really go, Dr. Seuss?
yes. Shut up.
Does every group have at least like 1 or 2 examples?
Yeah, sure.
We have 2 lists.
Okay.
We have.
Two lists. One of them
Is there any group that wants more time, or do you want to?
Can we talk about the math ones again?
Let's go. Right?
Okay, let's. Yeah, the idea was to do math examples and literary examples. That's okay. It's no big deal necessarily. I want to hear some of the ones that you guys came up with. So, again, looking for brave volunteers. Yeah, there's no judgment. This is a new thing that we're talking about today, so I don't expect everyone to just have mastered it in 10 seconds. Yeah. Syllogism, yeah, it's just like it sounds. Hold on. Make sure you're a little louder, and make sure everyone else is quiet.
What?
Go ahead.
Either you stay at home or you go to school. If you stay at home, you didn't go to school.
Nice.
And the math is square root of 49. You can do that with positive 7 or negative 7.
Nice. That's good math. Good math. Nice. Good job. Nice examples. Yeah, please.
So we only have a literary one.
That's okay.
For the one the S one.
Read it out loud. Just words. Syllogism. The law of syllogism.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we did if you marry your mother, you plug out your eyes. So if you plug out your eyes, you're blind. Therefore, if you marry your mother, you're blind.
Nice. I like that one. All of us, hopefully, I think probably are understanding where that one came from. Right? I like that a lot. That was very nice. Did you guys come up with other literary ones since you didn't have math ones?
If somebody marries their mother. I mean, I guess I don't know. Mine's kind of literary.
Okay.
Either war or peace. War didn't happen, therefore peace.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Simplistic, right? And yet it's true. Other people?
We got one.
Go for it.
For the law of contraposition. If the needs were made, the truffle of trees disappear. Since there are still truffle of trees, that needs weren't made.
Nice. Do you have other Dr. Seuss ones?
We tried.
We tried, depending on the way.
Okay. Yeah, I like that one.
Oh, yeah. It's not really just speech here, just a regular speech.
Yeah. We have to figure out which one that would be.
That was the destructive syllogism.
Okay. Oh yeah, the either or one. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. Yes. Other people? Examples? Anyone else? This table? Did you guys come up with any?
Yes,
No.
we did.
Either yes or no. If not no, then yes.
I don't know what so can we come up with things?
I think so.
We were doing that. No, that's done.
Okay, the law of syllogism.
Yeah.
Our literary, for example, if Bob doesn't go to work, then he'll lose his job, and if he loses his job, then he'll lose his car. So if he doesn't go to work, he loses.
Nice. Is that from a particular story?
That's
From a story that we're gonna
Gotcha.
write.
The story called Real Life. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Anyone else have any other examples that they like that they want to share? Yeah.
I did it with that. They got jerked, so I got arrested, so I hit them for some of that.
Again, is that from real life, Jeremiah?
No.
Not from
They can't,
no.
they can't. There was multiple people there backing me up.
Okay. So there's a couple of things that I want to highlight about this. Right, we have this idea that there are these, I don't know, for lack of a better word, laws, these theorems, whatever you want to use, right, where they're showing relationships between things that are true and things that are false. Okay, I mean that's essentially what these things are doing, right? What's true, what's false? How can we tell? Okay. I want to connect it to another idea, which I mentioned the first time that I had a teacher lesson in this class. If you think back, it was quite a while ago now, but I gave you that sheet with all of the schools of criticism on it. And there's one in particular that I always found really, really fascinating, which is deconstruction. And this one's really tough. It's a really tough thing to sort of wrap our minds around, but I spent a lot of time thinking about it because I have no life, so that's what I do with my time. And the thing about deconstruction is it shows us how words don't mean anything by themselves. Again, we're thinking about relationships between ideas. That's what this whole lesson is really about. So one of the things that deconstruction talks about is the deferment of meaning. Meaning defers. And I want to show you this. It's not really particularly complicated. Can you give me just give me a word, as long as it's still appropriate. Any word, doesn't matter.
Cannot be
Think.
Think. Okay. Think. What's the definition of think?
To form thoughts.
To formulate ideas in your mind.
I'm going to use that one because it has the biggest word in it. To formulate ideas in your mind. Okay. What does formulate mean?
Create.
Did you say create?
I did.
Okay. So formulate means create. What does create mean?
Conceive.
To make. What does make mean?
To make.
To create.
Or
Together.
Produce.
To put together. What does together mean?
Conjoin.
Two things joined.
Oh my god.
What's the point I'm trying to make?
That word.
One at a time.
They need each other.
They need each other? What do you mean by that?
Basically, we had to go on the tangent of what they mean with other words of what they mean and just keep going on and on. Like, yeah.
Yes. Infinitely. Right? Does anyone else want to try to put it in their own words? What this sort of chain displays? That was very nice. Yeah, please.
I think no matter how deep you look into something, it's always going to go deep.
Think about that for a second.
So,
no matter how deep you think about something, you can always go deeper. Will you explain what you mean by that?
Well, we started with think, and we ended up at conjoin, but even if we stop at conjoin, we can still keep going and go into the deeper meaning of what conjoin means and that word is and so on.
Yeah. Other people, I saw other hands raised. Yeah.
so since a word means everything, you can mean something.
What do you mean by that?
Like you can get to like an infinite possibility from all these words that you like deconstruct. So if it's everything, it's not one thing, it's just nothing. It's just all.
Okay.